Hey, deep divers. It seems like every single day there's some new AI breakthrough. And you know what? That's especially true when you're building on ArcBlock. So I'm excited to dive into all that with you today and figure out how we can best leverage AI's power. We're going to be talking about LLMs and AI agents, which are two terms that are constantly floating around the ArcBlock ecosystem. And hopefully by the end of this deep dive, you'll know which one is the right tool for your next project.
What's so fascinating to me is how ArcBlock has really opened up AI development with their no-code platform. It's amazing to see creators from all different backgrounds, even people without coding experience, building these incredible things with such advanced tools.
It really is. It's like having this incredible AI toolbox at your disposal. But with so many cool tools in the box, it's kind of hard to know which one to grab. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is an LLM?
An LLM, or a large language model, is basically just a pattern recognition machine on a massive scale. It's been trained with so much data, like an ocean of text and code. So it's gotten incredibly good at figuring out what comes next in a sequence. It's kind of like the predictive text on your phone,
Right.
But just imagine that on steroids, it's able to generate entire paragraphs, articles, even code, instead of just suggesting the next word.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's like having an AI assistant that's really good at finishing your sentences, but it's way more powerful than that. So how does that translate to building on ArcBlock?
Well, imagine you're building an app and you need to create documentation or marketing materials. Instead of spending hours writing everything out yourself, you could just give an LLM some basic information and it could generate several versions of text for you.
So it's like having an AI copywriter on your team, ready to just pump out content for your ArcBlock projects.
Exactly. LLMs can also be incredibly helpful for developers. For example, an LLM that was trained on ArcBlock's code base could help developers write smart contracts much faster by being able to predict code completions as they type. It'd be like having another programmer there with you that knows ArcBlock inside and out.
Okay, that's starting to make things a lot clearer for me. But you mentioned before that LLMs don't actually think like humans do. What did you mean by that?
That's a really important point. Although LLMs can produce some pretty amazing results, they don't actually understand the information that they're processing. It's more about recognizing patterns and making statistical predictions. They can't actually reason or learn from new experiences in a meaningful way, or even remember past interactions.
So it's kind of like a super smart parrot that can just mimic human language, but it doesn't actually get the meaning behind the words.
That's a great analogy. LLMs are powerful tools for very specific tasks, especially when it comes to generating text or retrieving information from a data set, but they're not capable of any kind of independent thought or action.
Gotcha. So they're great for certain things, but they're not going to become self-aware and start writing their own dApps anytime soon.
Not quite. Which brings us to AI agents. They operate on a whole other level. While an LLM is reactive, an AI agent is autonomous. It's like a digital entity that can perceive its environment, make decisions, and take action to achieve its goals.
Okay, now we're talking about something that sounds a lot more like the AI we see in sci-fi movies.
It does have that kind of futuristic feel to it, but the reality is that AI agents are already solving real-world problems. And what's really cool is that ArcBlock's AI GNE platform was designed specifically to help anyone create these powerful agents in a decentralized framework, even without writing a single line of code.
Wait a minute, you're telling me I could build my own AI agent even though I can barely code Hello World? That sounds almost people to be true. How is that even possible?
That's the beauty of ArcBlock and AI Gene. It provides all of the building blocks that you need to define your agent's goals and its behaviors, connect it to different data sources, and deploy it on the ArcBlock network. It's kind of like building with Legos. You have all these pre-built components that you can just assemble in different ways to create something unique and powerful.
So instead of needing to be a coding wizard, I can focus on the what and the why of my AI agent and let AI Gene take care of all those complicated technical details behind the scenes. That's pretty mind-blowing. Can you give us some examples of what these AI agents could do on ArcBlock?
Absolutely. Imagine you're building a decentralized marketplace. You could create an AI agent that acts as an escrow service, so it securely holds funds until both the buyer and the seller have met their obligations. Or let's say you're developing a dApp that needs to access real-time data from external sources. An AI agent could be in charge of retrieving that data, verifying it, and then delivering it to your application.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here. These agents sound incredibly useful for automating tasks, making sure things are secure, and making dApps more intelligent and responsive. But I'm still a little fuzzy on how AI agents are fundamentally different from LLMs. Can you break that down for me?
Of course, one key difference is in their ability to learn and adapt. Unlike an LLM, which is basically a static model based on its training data, an AI agent can actually learn from new experiences and then adjust its behavior accordingly. Imagine an AI agent that helps users manage their cryptocurrency portfolio as it interacts with the market and sees the user's preferences. It can constantly learn and improve its investment strategies.
So it's like having an AI financial advisor that gets smarter over time, learns from its successes and its mistakes. That's a lot more sophisticated than just having an LLM spit out some basic market data.
Precisely. Another crucial difference is their autonomy. While an LLM always needs prompting and direction, an AI agent can operate independently within a set of predefined rules. Imagine an AI agent that acts as a smart contract guardian, constantly monitoring your dApp's smart contracts for potential security vulnerabilities. It could proactively take steps to reduce those risks without needing constant human intervention.
So it's like having a dedicated security expert who's working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep your dApp safe. That sounds like a total game changer for developers who want to build secure and reliable dApps on ArcBlock.
Exactly. The power of AI agents is all about their ability to perceive, reason, and act autonomously, allowing them to handle complex tasks and adapt to changing situations in ways that LLMs just can't.
This has been incredibly helpful. So we've got LLMs, which are great for generating text and retrieving information. And we've got AI agents, which can learn, adapt, and act autonomously. Now, the million-dollar question is, how do we know when to use each of them?
That's a great question and one I'll dive into more next time.
Welcome back. Last time we laid some groundwork. We talked about what LLMs and AI agents are and how they work. Now let's get practical. How do we figure out which tool is right for the job, especially on ArcBlock? It's kind of like you've got this superpower, but now you have to figure out when to use it.
That's a great analogy. Choosing between an LLM and an AI agent really depends on what you're trying to do. It's about knowing the strengths of each tool and then figuring out how those strengths can help you reach your goals.
Okay, so let's start with LLMs. When are they the best choice for a project on ArcBlock?
LLMs are your go-to for anything to do with generating text or retrieving information. If you need to create some documentation for your app, generate some marketing copy, or summarize blockchain transactions for your users, an LLM can do that really easily.
So any task that involves like processing a lot of text and then producing different variations. An LLM is perfect for that. It's like having an AI assistant who's a pro at writing and summarizing information. What about something like an FAQ bot for an app? Would that be a good use for an LLM?
Absolutely, LLMs are great for building those basic question and answer systems. If you've got a specific set of information and you want to give users quick answers to common questions, an LLM is a really powerful tool for that. Imagine a user needs a quick explanation about a feature in your dApp. An LLM-powered FAQ bot could give them that information instantly.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like having an AI customer service rep who can handle all the routine questions, which frees up your human agents to focus on the most complicated issues. What other things are LLMs really good at on ArcBlock?
LLMs are also really great for making the user interface of your dApp better. Think of features like intelligent code completion for developers or even context-aware text suggestions for users. Those are subtle but powerful features that can make your dApps much easier and more enjoyable to use.
So it's not just about creating content or answering questions. It's also about making the whole user experience better within the ArcBlock ecosystem.
Exactly. LLMs are really versatile tools. They can streamline development, make things more usable, and make information more accessible in your dApps.
Okay, so LLMs are like the Swiss Army knife of AI on ArcBlock. Super useful for a wide range of things that involve text and information. But what about those situations where we need something a bit more autonomous, something that can act on its own? When do AI agents enter the picture?
AI agents are your heavy hitters when it comes to building sophisticated, decentralized applications on ArcBlock. They're like the brains behind autonomous systems that can manage assets, interact with other dApps, and even make decisions based on real-time data.
Okay, so we're moving past just generating text or retrieving information now. We're talking about AI agents that can actually do things within the ArcBlock ecosystem. Can you give us an example?
Sure, imagine you're building a decentralized financial application. You could create an AI agent that acts like a financial advisor. It could constantly monitor market conditions and then adjust your investment portfolio based on your risk tolerance and financial goals. And all of this happens autonomously, with the AI agent learning and adapting to your preferences over time.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal AI financial manager who's always working to optimize your investments. That's so much more sophisticated than an LLM just giving you some basic market data.
Exactly. And another important difference is their autonomy. While an LLM always needs some kind of prompt or direction, an AI agent can work independently within a set of rules that you define. Imagine an AI agent that acts as a smart contract guardian. It's constantly watching your dApp's smart contracts for any security problems, and then it can proactively take steps to fix those problems without needing a human to step in all the time.
So it's like having a dedicated security expert working around the clock to make sure your dApp is safe. That sounds like a game changer for developers who want to build those super secure, reliable dApps on ArcBlock.
Absolutely. The real power of AI agents comes from their ability to see things, reason, and then take action on their own. Within the ArcBlock ecosystem, they can interact with smart contracts, analyze blockchain data, and even talk to other AI agents to achieve some pretty complex goals.
So it's like having this whole team of intelligent digital workers that you can use. Each one is specialized in a certain task, and they're all working together to run your decentralized application. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, but it's becoming more and more real thanks to platforms like ArcBlock's AI Genie. And remember, even if you're not a technical expert, you can still create and use these advanced AI agents without writing any code at all.
It's amazing that anyone can tap into the power of AI to build really innovative dApps on ArcBlock. I can't wait to see what our listeners create. So we've talked about some pretty compelling examples of how AI agents can automate things, enhance security, and just make dApps smarter and more responsive. But how do we decide between an LLM and an AI agents for a specific project? Is there an easy way to figure that out?
There is. Let's talk about that next.
Welcome back to the show, Deep Divers. We've covered a lot of grounds in this deep dive. We've explored LLMs and AI agents and all the amazing things you can build using those on ArcBlock. But now let's switch gears and figure out how to pick the right tool for the job. I'm still a bit fuzzy on when I should use an LLM versus an AI agent. Is there like a simple rule of thumb to help us decide?
There is. It really comes down to how much autonomy and complexity you need. If your project is mostly about generating text, answering simple questions, or doing some basic automation tasks, then an LLM is probably the best way to go. Think of LLMs as your go-to for creating content, summarizing information, and making your dApps interface better.
Okay, that makes sense. So if I need to create some different versions of marketing copy for my app or build a simple FAQ bot, I should use an LLM. But what about when I need something more powerful, something that can make decisions on its own based on real-time data?
That's when you'd want to use an AI agent. If you're building a decentralized application that needs to be able to make decisions on its own, interact with smart contracts in complex ways, or even learn and adapt over time, then an AI agent's what you need. AI agents are like the masterminds behind really sophisticated systems. They can manage assets, react to changes in the market, and even work with other AI agents to achieve a common goal.
So it's like this. If I want a smart assistant to help me write or find information, I use an LLM. But if I need an intelligent agent to manage my DeFi portfolio, keep my digital assets secure, or even run a complicated decentralized marketplace, then I need an AI agent.
That's a great way to put it. It's all about knowing the strengths of each tool and how those strengths fit the needs of your project. And the best part is with ArcBlock's no-code AI G&E platform, anyone can create and use both LLMs and AI agents, even if they're not coding experts.
That's what makes building on ArcBlock so incredible. It really does make these powerful AI tools accessible to everyone, so anyone can build innovative dApps for the decentralized web. I'm so excited to see what our listeners create. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of LLMs and AI agents. We hope you learned a lot about these game-changing technologies and how they can help you build the future of Web3.
It was great talking about this with you.
Until next time, keep exploring the endless possibilities of the decentralized world.